Hello, wrestling fans. Blake Smith from Walking the Ropes, and welcome to a different style of episode today. We are doing a predictions video for AEW Revolution. That is tonight's pay-per-view. And we are going to start out with the buy-in, and the first match I have on my list here is Chris Statlander versus legit Layla Hirsch. This has been a pretty interesting match. It's a solid build for both women. They've had interactions on Dynamite, Rampage, and I believe on Dark and Elevation. I don't watch those as frequently. They both seem to really care about this. They seem to really genuinely want the best out of each other, like to really fight each other hard. And, it's going to be a hard-hitting grudge match. And in the end, I do think Chris Statlander is going to take the victory. Just because I think AEW is far more behind her than they are Hirsch. No offense to Hirsch at all. She's a great competitor. I just think Statlander is in the midst of upper card push here soon. The next match on my cards is QT Marshall versus Hook. QT hates Hook, and he's going to do anything to end his strong run here because Hook is undefeated since his debut, which is his wrestling debut, not just his AEW debut. And Hook has just been on a tear. Like, he's got the fans on his side, and he is just beating everyone in his path. And it's not like he's just beating easy guys, too. He's beaten one half of Bear Country, which was insane. Hook should win, but in my opinion, QT is going to do something, and it's going to cost Hook the match, and it's going to make Taz really pissed off for sure. And in the end, I think QT is actually going to end up winning this, and this is going to move on to another match between Hook and whoever else gets involved, because I think it's going to be something like that. But I'm not quite sure. This also, they could just go the straight up route and have Hook beat QT, but I really think they're going to do something here, because they've been building this a little bit. So we shall see. I do think QT is going to win. And for the next buy-in match, this one surprised me a little bit, and I'm kind of disappointed it is on the buy-in. Not that the buy-in is a bad thing for AEW, because as we've seen of the previous two matches, it's not a bad thing to be on the buy-in. I just do think this set had the momentum to be on the main card. Surely it's going to be the best match on the buy-in, because it's look at them. It's the House of Black versus Eric Redbeard, Penta, Obscuro, and Pac. Like, it is just insane. It's going to be a hard-hitting match both ends, and I have a feeling the House of Black has something up their sleeve, and I don't know why. I feel like it's Penta. I feel like Penta is going to join the HF, or the House of Black. I was going to refer to them as the AHOF or the HOB for whatever reason. But it is, I think Penta might turn on his boys here. I don't know why. I could be very wrong here. And I think that is going to be how the House of Black wins. But again, I could be very, very, very wrong. Andrade and Hardy versus Andrade El Idolo, Matt Hardy, and Isiah Cassidy versus Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Sting is the first match I have on the Revolution card. Andrade and Hardy have been a thorn in Sting's side, and let alone their constant hunt for Sammy's title. Even Darby's been hunting for Sammy's title. This is supposedly the first trios tornado tag in AEW history. That's according to Matt Hardy. I'm not 100% certain on that. I feel like we have had them before, but I have no idea. So we should expect a pretty brutal and hard-hitting contest with Sammy and Darby and Cassidy specifically going crazy. The three of them are the youngest in the match, as well as the most, insane, I guess you could say. And in the end, I'd think Sammy, Darby, and Sting win, with Sammy getting the pin on Cassidy, just as kind of a final prediction there. The next match on the Revolution card is the TNT Championship shot, the Face of the Revolution ladder match. This is going to be an interesting one. It is Wardlow, Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, I was going to say Will Hobbs, that's his old name, Ricky Starks, Christian Cage, and Orange Cassidy. It's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, we have a great mix of big and smaller men, which is an interesting dynamic, especially when you throw in the likes of Keith Lee, who really does act like a little guy, even though he's not one. For me, this is a toss-up between Wardlow and Lee. On one hand, Lee is just, he's got it. He's just here, and I see him going into high-profile matches. A title match would be great. But on the other hand, Wardlow winning will further the split between him and MJF as well as the Pinnacle, which is something that is definitely on the rise. And in the end, I think that is where AEW is going with Wardlow. And I think that's what they're going to do. I think in the end, Wardlow is going to win this Face of the Revolution ladder match and grab that brass ring. This doesn't do anything bad for Keith Lee because it's not like it's a loss. He didn't take a pin, anything like that. I just think this is the way it's going. The next match on the Revolution card is Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho. And get ready for what could be a show-stealing match, as these two have what it takes to be a main event on any card. Kingston has been the source of the divide in the Inner Circle, as he's been trying to pull Santana and Ortiz away from them. It seems like it hasn't worked, as they did bump fists with Jericho this week, but maybe that was just them tricking Jericho. I don't know. I don't think Santana and Ortiz will get involved, though I do believe they will show up during the match, maybe just kind of, not necessarily cause a distraction, but kind of look like they're gonna get involved, but then don't. In the end, Kingston getting Jericho's respect is the point of this story, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. I think Kingston is going to win clean over Chris Jericho. For the next match on the Revolution card, it is Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. And yet another on the list of can be the best match of the night. These two are going to kill each other, and I can't be more literal when I say that. They both have said how they plan to make the other bleed to just prove how aggressive they can be, and they are going to do just that. This match will end with a red canvas and both men coated in their blood and the other guy's blood. In the end, it's a difficult one to decide, but I think Danielson will win, and Moxley will respect that and agree to team with Danielson and start this great tag team that we've been talking about, and potentially even this big group with some young guys. I think this is exactly where we're going with these two. So, like I said, Bryan Danielson winning. And the next match on the Revolution card is Jade Cargill defending her TBS title against Ty Conte. And you know what? Jade is 28-0, and I believe, in all honesty, I don't see her cracking 30. I think Ty is her biggest and toughest opponent yet. Cargill has fought some tough competition and won fairly easily, minus Soho and a few others gave her a good run. But Ty seems ready for gold, and I think she is going to do that tonight. She's going to be too much for Cargill to handle, and Ty Conte will become the new TBS champion tonight. All right, the next match is the dog collar match, CM Punk versus MJF. And if we thought Danielson versus Moxley was going to be bloody, this is going to be a bloodbath and a pool party all in one. These two hate each other so much they're willing to do whatever it takes to destroy the other. Punk made the challenge and hinted at some of the bloodiest dog collar matches in history. This is surely going to end up amongst that list, if not on top of it. MJF has not looked the same since the challenge was laid down, until last Wednesday when we finally kind of saw the smarky, snide side of MJF when he left Punk bloodied as a taste, just a taste of what's to come. In the end, though, I think Punk is going to come out on top as the winner, and MJF will be humbled finally as he lays in a pool of his own blood. The next match on the card for AEW Revolution is the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The triple threat trio, what do we call this? Three-way tag team match, I believe. Jurassic Express has their hands full tonight as they face not one but two of the best tag teams in the world over the last decade. Red Dragon and the Young Bucks have had title reigns all over the globe. Red Dragon have never won the AEW World Tag titles, but the Young Bucks have. Will they become the first tag champions, or the first two-time tag champions in AEW? Red Dragon have been butting heads with the Bucks, and I have a feeling that is going to be both teams' undoing. I think they're both going to think they haven't won over, let's say, Jungle Boy. And they're going to try and go for the pin, and the other guy is going to try and pull them off, and it's just going to cause this big battle, and Jurassic Express is going to take advantage of that, and they will be able to retain their World Tag titles tonight. The next match on the card is the main event. Hangman Adam Page defending his World Championship against Adam Cole, baby. All right. If the building hasn't come down by the time we get here, we finally get this match. Adam Cole looks like he's ready to take this title, what's already his, he says. Page, though, has been a badass of a champion, stomping all in his path, and tonight will be his hardest challenge since taking the title, I'd think, and maybe Danielson, because Danielson took him the limit. Cole has everything the other challengers had and more, and he is a huge threat to Page's reign. But Page, in the end, the last call will come, and Hangman will hit the buckshot and get the win. Yes, Hangman will defend and successfully his AEW World Championship and remain champion at the end of the night. That is all for my predictions of Revolution for tonight's show. I believe it's going to be a killer card, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let us know if you enjoyed this type of video, and we will see you in the next one.